Well, this actually might be a reason for most of you to start learning some basic Japanese, actually. What's going on, everyone? Talon back here, and today we got a bunch of new updates that we're going to be getting into the game pretty soon, if I had to take a guess. I don't know if this says when it goes away. No, simply this is when it came out today, so 12:05. Oh, well, actually, Friday. This goes away on Friday, the 16th, and it's only the 15th right now, so that doesn't make much sense, but okay. 11:16. I don't really know. I know it's just a Friday. Okay, but anyway, nonetheless, again, I'm, Pacific Standard Time, I guess. Anyway, nonetheless, we're going to be getting this app update pretty soon. 4.0.1, lots of UI changes coming, a lot of little updates, some stuff I never thought we'd actually see, / I didn't know I really wanted. A couple of them, I don't know if they will be transferred over into other parts of the game. They look like they can, but according to the videos that they posted on their own Twitter page, on the Dokkan Twitter page, a lot of it was just simply done in the front, looking at your own particular box, not necessarily in other places in the game, but I could easily see it going towards that. So, and there are a couple of ones that also look like where knowing some Japanese is going to help you here. It's definitely going to help you, whereas other parts, you don't really actually need to know Japanese, even though it showed them typing in Japanese. So, without further ado, let's get into each one. So, basically, if you go into the app or into the game right now, you can look at the latest news, and it's going to show you the big main things that they're highlighting, okay? So, I'm going to go through each one on I'm just on DBZ Space, because, again, I will need to access the videos pretty easily. So I'm going to go with the first one on, in the news, and then I'm going to go over to the Twitter page. I'm going to describe what the video is doing and some extra kanji that maybe a lot of people won't know, and just kind of some details we can pull apart from that. Again, we'll get more in-depth details when we actually get the thing, and there might be a couple of things that, we discover that they're not letting us know. That always happens when these UI updates come out. So without further ado, let's go and take a look at everything, okay? So first off, obviously, if you can actually click the link on the page if you want to, in the game itself, in the news, you actually hit it and it will take you over to the Twitter page. And then, of course, you can check out these videos and everything. So first off, we are getting Giru. Yes, Giru, as, you always say in the anime and everything. But basically, there's this little, again, I'll show you in the video here in just a second. But up in the top right corner, basically global, where I believe you guys have your little store that you can go and buy stones and orbs from, and items and things like that. They are now putting this little Giru thing in here, where basically it's going to suggest to you characters and everything. So Susume Kerekta. So Susume means recommended. It actually also means sweet sometimes. So I guess sweet character or recommended character, however you want to say it. But nonetheless, it will recommend characters to you depending on what events are out and everything like that. So, for example, it's going to show Gohan, and if the EZA Gohan or the free-to-play STR Gohan happens to be around, then you can go ahead and, basically it just takes you straight to the event. It's just recommending it to you. I don't know exactly if it's going to recommend it to you if you already have him, /Rainbowed, or whatever the case may be. Again, that's something we'll have to wait and see when it comes out, but it's just one of those little things. So let's go ahead and take a look over at it real quick. Hopefully this isn't too loud. I'm using both computers right now, so we'll back it up here. Okay. So top right corner, as you clearly saw there. And it's going to load up. And then, of course, they got to use the Goku event, right? But yeah, you can actually see how far he Dokkan awakens everything, which is pretty cool. And then, obviously, you hit the bottom right. It takes you straight to the event, and boom, there you go. I mean, pretty simple stuff, right? It is a neat little thing that maybe, you jump into the game, you're not really sure what's going on. And or you have to go back and just do an event, so that you could potentially do that. Again, I feel like this is something that probably no one was asking for, but I guess they're gonna throw it in. So I don't know, cool little feature nonetheless. Let's move on to the next one, okay? Next is going to be what is basically categorized as basically labeling character categories, essentially. It's kind of a weird way to say it. But basically, when you go into the character selection screen here, you're going to be on what's called all, okay? Which it kind of sounds what it is, right? It basically shows you all the characters that you have. Or you go down here usually to where, so see where it says cost, so costo. Again, we've all seen this before. You can go ahead and categorize your characters by cost, when they entered your box, by their name technically, or by the start letter of their name, their rarity, the orb potential system, the essay level, all that stuff, right? And stuff that we've had for a long time, okay? So this that right now though, apparently what you can do is you can then select over to these what are called labels. So labelu, if you actually look at this for a second, when I first read this, I thought it was like rival for a second because R's trip me up with katakana sometimes. I'm just like, wait, I'm gonna create a rival box? I'm like, what? What's going on here? I'm not really sure. So anyway, so you label the box and then you can put characters into it after selecting them. So let's go into the video. I'm going to show you exactly what it means and then we'll go there. So which one was it? That was searching. Like I said, that video is all out of date or out of order. So I believe this is it right here. Over. Yeah. Okay. So this is the one right here. Okay. So let's go here and we'll back it up. Okay. Okay, so switch it over. Here's the first label. It's going to label it as orb changers. That's the kanji right there for orb changers. Okay, and then you can add characters. So real quickly, I'll back it up here just a bit. So then this is called adding into it, and then you select whatever characters happen to be in there. He has it, whoever's doing the game has it selected by rarity. So you still have to manually pick the characters, and then this one's like HP recovery. Orb label or orb changers / orb absorbers by collect a certain amount of ki. Now this was weird right here. So when I first saw this, I'm like, wait, are they setting the HP on this guy? No, that's actually not the case. So what you can do actually, so I'm gonna back it up here just a bit so I can see exactly where they click on it. Okay, so they click on it. So obviously they clicked that to bring the links. Okay, so then this bottom little button right here. I'll try to get the mouse out of the way if you want to go. Come on. Okay, I'm going to have to back it up here a bit so you guys can see. But pay attention to the bottom right corner, essentially, okay? All right, so right there, okay? So this allows you actually to then take the character if you want to. So there's this bottom line where all of the labels are, essentially, okay? And what it allows you to do, essentially, is take said character after you've created all your labels. Granted, so this first one, again, is orb changers. The second one is HP recovery. Third one is ki. I'm not really sure about that one. And then these are all unnamed. And notice the kanji for namae and then yon, go, roku, nana, 4, 5, 6, 7. So basically then what you can do though is you can go ahead and just select these and say, okay, I want to put this character into these 3 label boxes essentially, okay? So if we'll let it play out real quick to show you. He hits okay. He goes back to his label box. And then, boom, he goes over. Of course, he was there already. And now he's in HP recovery because technically Goku does that too. So it's kind of cool that you can go ahead and set up these boxes the way you wanted to. It looks like there's only going to be about 7 at first, which some people are not even going to touch this feature and never going to use it or anything. But that is pretty cool that you can go ahead and do that. So, I mean, the way I personally look at this, I'm gonna look at it and be like, okay, you know what? I'm going to pick my favorite teams that maybe I don't get to use all the time or something like that. Or maybe I always switch between certain teams on certain events and things. And so I'm just gonna create a box with just those characters in it, and I go in there and just be like boom, 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 essentially. It's basically skipping over having to go down to where cost is. So let me make a better example, essentially. Let's say you go into Super Battle Road and you pick a team, or you pick a friend, and you've got to pick your team, and you're gonna do, I don't know, Super Strength or something like that, okay? Obviously, you'd have to go, in the past, usually you have to go cost, and then you'd have to go, unselect everything except STR. You got to unselect the extreme types, and then you've got to pick all the ones that you want, essentially, right? Or if you know that maybe you're going to make that, or if you're going to use that team a lot, again, this isn't something you do just one time, but if you know you use your STR team a lot, but you're switching between a lot of different teams and everything, because maybe you use over 8 or something like that. This is basically extending the team box in a way, right? Let's say you have your 7 boxes in terms of your teams, and then here with these labels, essentially, you can say, okay, you know what? I use my STR team sometimes. I'm going to make a box in here. If I ever have to make it at one point, I just need to go click over to where the label is. Boom, there's my STR team. Boom, 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 boom. Select what I need, and you're good to go. So I don't know. That's my thought about it when it comes to this kind of stuff. I'm not really sure. We'll have to wait and see. So. Next is how characters and apparently being able to go to awakening, training, finding medals, and all this other stuff. So before I even get into it, there's like 2 or 3 videos for this. So okay. By the way, that banner's out. So let's go ahead and let's go here. Okay. So this is what they do first. Okay. So they simply select a character. So they go for the new Goku. Okay. So the SSR top where the lock button is, you can hit that. And then I'm going to pause it here for a second after. Let's go back for a second so I can take you step by step. Okay, so when you hit this button up here, again, next to the lock button, which I think most people use to lock up their characters, it's going to bring up character information, okay? So it shows you the line of the awakenings, basically. Now, obviously, this Goku's going to go to LR, so I'm assuming that when you get to UR finally, this will then change and having UR on the left side all the way up to LR on the right side, okay? You've got 3 buttons here. You've got training, medals, and then orb potential system ability, okay? Because again, you should recognize this kanji if you've gone in play, use obviously training, awakening people, and then obviously the ability system. So let's go ahead and continue. So it's gonna hit the training, it takes you there, and then it skips this because it's just like, okay, you've all seen what training looks like, and boom, Goku's up to level 100 now, okay? And then you can hit it again, and then what they do is that, okay, well, you can't awaken him anymore because we already did that, okay? So now they're gonna go to the orb potential system, and in here. Now, one thing that I noticed that is in here, but they don't actually talk about is this right here, ID. I honestly have no idea what this is, and they don't mention it at all to my knowledge. If I am missing this and I am just staring past it, let me know down in the comments below if it's not already out already, all right? All right, so that was the first part. Now let's go to this part real quick because this is, again, kind of related. Again, back up here, okay? So this has to do now with medals, okay? So the way this basically works is that, I believe, yeah, okay, so as you guys know, at least on the JP side, and I think the global side has this as well. See, Encyclopedia Global doesn't have. So when you're in the team options menu, essentially, or you're looking at like your team, training, I guess I should be doing the same. Team, training, items you can look at, characters, and then a orb ability system, and then you've got selling stuff for money, Dokkan Awakening, and then you've got the Dokkan Awaken like panel thing, you can search through all of the Dokkan Awakens possible in the game, and then obviously it highlights and shows you. They've kind of cleaned it up now. They basically scrunched it down and they show you a little bit more, but now what you can do is, well, let's watch it real quick. So basically you can click on the character you want. It's going to show you the medals like it did before, but now you can click on the medals and then now it takes you to the events that you can go ahead and do. Now, if the event's not available, obviously you can't go to the event, but that's essentially what it does, okay? And then this is the same with awakening people. Okay, you go in here. Okay, and that's actually something I did not mention real quick in the labels departments. So I need to wait for it to come up real quick. Again, going into the Dokkan Awaken, and then you can go ahead and select the character. Go to the medals. Okay, now this part right here is what I did not see it. You can actually turn the labels on and off. So maybe if the labels are not something you particularly like, then guess what? You can just go boom, off, or on, depending on what you want to do, if you even want to use them. The parts of, entering your box or not selecting them, but ordering them in terms of cost or by ability system or anything like that. That has all been moved up here, very similar to the category system where you hit the button and then you select from the list and then it goes back to this particular screen right here. They've basically just taken all of those options in terms of sorting them and just put them into one, okay? In terms of what this is, I'm not really sure. Maybe, I think it must be like reverse order. So like, for example, if I'm taking a guess here. So this is for Haite, which means the order that they entered into their box. So again, your very first card would be at the very bottom. Your newest card's gonna be at the top. This reverses it looks like. I'm gonna guess that. That'd be my guess at least. I can't really read that kanji. It's very small, so. But anyway, I just want to go about the labels real quick that you can turn that on and off if you want to. So again, he's gonna select the medals for the Goku here. He doesn't have enough, so he then takes, again, the same thing, takes you to the item, you hit the, take you to the event, and boom, you can go straight to the event that you want to go into, okay? So that's pretty cool stuff right there. All right, so moving on now, because that's basically covered it. Again, I covered that again real quick. This is the same exact thing. You go to the medals. If you don't have enough, it'll take you to the event as long as it's available. If that day the medals or the stage of the event is not available, then obviously you can't continue on to it. So that's probably going to happen. And then the last thing is character searching. Now, this is one thing as of right now, and I'll show you the video here in a second, where you can search for characters via kind of like basically tags, essentially. Let me show you the video first and why I think this actually might not simply just be in the box itself, okay? So I need to find it first. I believe this is it. All right, so let's go right here, okay. No, that is a different one. That's key. Where is... Oh, jeez. Okay, here it is. Yes, I saw the GT for a second. Okay. Okay, so let's back it up here. Okay. So you can search now, essentially, for characters. So they type in GT, because, well, GT is about one of the few English things in this game. And it brought up all the GT characters right there, okay? And then they started typing in Super Saiyajin and Hiragana, which just made me laugh when I originally saw this, because that's not how you type in Super Saiyajin, but nonetheless, it brings in all the characters that are Super Saiyajin. Now, the one thing, a couple of things that I kind of picked up on from this as well is two things. First off, at least in that video, when they typed in Super Saiyajin, it was just Super Saiyans, at least the more I go back and look at it again. I want to look again. So, yeah, okay, so they obviously Super Saiyan Blue is technically classified as Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, right? So Super Saiyan God still works. There doesn't seem to be any Super Saiyan. Oh, there is Super Saiyan. See, this is the interesting thing. This is Super Saiyan 3 in here. There's some Super Saiyan 2. So typing in just simply Super Saiyan brought them all up. Wow, this guy's box is puny. Oh, 200. That's why. There's only 200 guys in here. Okay. Okay, so nonetheless, basically you can go ahead and type in one thing and maybe a lot more that might come up. So it's not very specific. I thought maybe for a second you type in Super Saiyan, you're only going to get Super Saiyan, okay? Now, one thing you guys will have to know, though, is that you're going to have to type in Japanese. So again, if you wanted to ever learn Japanese, here's kind of a chance to practice if you want to, okay? Now, obviously, as you guys saw also on the keyboard here, like any, I'm assuming that they're using the iPhone. So as you guys know, most phones these days, you can switch between different keyboards with different languages. So technically, this guy could have hit the little glow button right here. He could have then gone and typed in English, but because this is the Japanese version of the game, they're not going to recognize that. And I've had a few people asking me, oh, why don't they just include English? They have to know that people from other countries play their game. And while they probably do, I mean, they obviously make a lot of money from this game, their argument would just be, well, then go play the global version if you want to work with your own language, right? That's going to be their argument. This is the JP version of the game. Regardless of how you might feel about that, well, I have to say, just, yeah, suck it up, unfortunately. Or you do something about it and you learn a new language. Honestly, there's nothing wrong with learning a new language sometimes. So that might sound a little jerkish, I guess, but that's the way it's going to be for anyone who particularly might ask that question, okay? And then my last part that I want to mention on this before we end the video real quick is the fact that this little search thing, I almost wonder if you can potentially use it in the friend system. It doesn't mention the friend system at all in this little part right here, okay? So this is just simply talking about that you can search for characters via their names, okay? But other than that, yeah, that's it. So anyway, but I would not be surprised if potentially we can use this in the friend system, which if we can, it's easier essentially than trying to find, search someone by character or by, say a category is super huge or something like that, okay? Obviously, most of the categories aren't, so most people are just simply going to skip this whole character searching thing, hit the category that they want to give or they want to find, and then they'll find their friend that way. But if this is implemented, I'm assuming the correct way, essentially, then my guess would be that you can just go in here. I could type in Tartalasu, and I'm going to find nothing but Turtles. Or it's going to say, can't find anything by that particular name, and it's not going to bring up, extra things. Because as of right now, you know that if you go into, say, I look for Extreme STR, and I want to find a, STR Majin Buu, okay? Obviously, by Extreme STR, it's also going to bring up any Rosés, it's going to bring up Android 21s, basically any STR in the game. So, but if I had typed in Majin Buu in Japanese, and I had STR selected as well, it's only going to give me those, or it's going to say, sorry, you can't find any because no one's running that. You got to, enter the game, come back out, refresh the server like it always does. So it's not going to be perfect or anything, but I do wonder if that potentially might happen. So other than that, guys, that's it for the updates for today. Again, I do want to quickly check real quick if I just click on news, if I come out here, Friday the 16th, Pacific Standard Time at 12:05 a.m., which, again, that's going to be Sunday. That's going to be tomorrow. So tomorrow at 5 p.m. basically. According to this, if this is the way it's working at least, tomorrow is when the app update comes. So I'm assuming it will obviously come for, obviously both versions of the game or Android or emulators essentially. Give Renzi a day or so if he's still doing that, and he should be able to get that up no problem, or whoever does it these days. I haven't kept up to date on that for a while, but yeah. But anyway, guys, that's it for the updates. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. As always, this is probably directly from the times that they were asking us to input feedback and saying, do we want this, or this? And, you know, you obviously have the trolls saying, give us 300 stones and all that fun stuff. But this is a result of that. And I'm assuming this is what some people voted for over here in Japan. So, because again, they weren't going to take English answers. You had to make sure it was all in Japanese and proper Japanese. So, I don't know. I guess this is what the Japanese community wants. It's interesting to say the least. I don't know if to do it for global, but I mean, obviously global will get this, but I don't know if they're going to do a thing where they ask global players what they also want. So I don't know. Who's to say? But anyway, let me know your thoughts on the updates and the things that are coming, or things that you wish were coming as well. Again, let me know down in the comments below, and give me details on things that you would fix or change, but they're not clearly here right now. So anyway, guys, that's me it for the video. Let me know your thoughts down below. And until next time, everyone, I'll see you all in the next one.